I think the most important concept or idea when we start thinking about, like if we're speaking to a bunch of coaches in a room right now, like if there was, well, there is, right? There's a bunch of coaches listening to this. Like if a coach was like, what is a coach? What is the most important thing that I need to possess as a coach? I would agree with what you said, right? Like helping people to be a better version of themselves. But from like a foundational perspective, I think a coach just has to be really good at changing people's behaviors.
In modern times, I would agree with you.
If we look at, a group of 100 clients that come to 20 different coaches over any given period of time, 90% of them are coming to them because they want to change something about themselves, right? The way that they feel, the way that they behave, their actions on a daily basis. But underneath all of that, a coach needs to understand how to change that client's behavior.
That's
right?
so that's where I'm in agreement. I may not be as such in agreement as saying that change is the most important thing, but I think that those things start to take place after what I would say is, I can't remember how you just said it, but I call it competency, right, or education. You need to transmit knowledge to them. Like move knowledge over from what you have in ideas and what's gone on in fitness and how people should move and eat and behave, and just like move that slowly at a rate where you can see them like again, the things are going off in the head. So that whole process that I described there could be called educating. You're educating someone. And I think it's neither here nor there whether we argue that point, but I think further down the line, it's a behavior change thing. The reason why I said that is in modern times is that I would agree with you. There's a ton of people that need to change, but my brain immediately goes to, well, if they need to be changed, a lot will fall prey to the therapeutic paradigm. Right, that they need to be fixed. Right, this is therapy for all the shit that you decided to put yourself into. Right, now that could turn out good for some, but my point would be that it's very difficult. But if that was to your point, to add to your point, if it was education on the front end of that, and then the client is like, oh, I see what we're doing now. We're trying to change my behaviors. It's all good. It's all good.
When you said education, I'm just like, okay, what is education at the end of the day? It's to teach someone how to think for themselves, right? Like at the end of the day. Obviously, it needs to be connected to something.
It's like teaching a male who has, let's just say, self-perception issues, and I hope you can connect these 2 points. It's something as simple as teaching them about how only females get polycystic ovary syndrome. And there's a purposeful pause on that point because in modern times, it's important that a male recognizes that that is a female thing.
Hey guys, I just wanted to take a second to say thank you so much for watching the video, and to make sure that you don't miss videos like this in the future, go ahead and click subscribe. And I also want to make you aware that we offer a ton of free resources for coaches like you. So to access those resources, head over to CoachRx.app, go ahead and click that free resources tab and explore all of the resources that our coaches have created for you. And to take it a step further and to start implementing those resources into your own coaching practice, get started with a free 14-day trial in CoachRx. Thanks a lot, guys. We appreciate it.
Right, so that's a little glimpse, 0.02% of education. Do you see that? It's an educational moment of knowledge that we just kind of like, oh, it's no big deal. They don't recognize that. That's a big deal, huge deal. They may have daughters, they may have a wife, they may have self-perception issues. Like, I will never have that disease. Exactly. And then it strikes home this, like what you call this deep underpinning, right? That gets to behavior change. But you're not going to change behaviors by just telling someone you're never going to have that disease because you're a man. Right? No, it's going to require this like underpinning of. I just picked on one, out of 1,000 things. You know what I'm saying? Okay.
I mean, I was thinking of like a hierarchy where it was like, at the very top, as someone comes into this like behavior change, we can call it behavior change or education. there's like there's awareness at the very top, right? Where it's like, first we just need to make you aware, right? Yeah. We could take a very specific situation, right? Where it's like, well, you're not feeling good. Yeah. Now let's bring awareness to why you're not feeling good. This is what you're experiencing. This is what you're not experiencing. This is maybe what you should be experiencing based on your age, your sex, so on and so forth. Then we go to like this knowledge piece where it's like, now we start like teaching them facts, right? Like here's data, here's what science says, here's what this says, here's what all that says. And then we keep going down and we're like, okay, now let's connect that. Let's talk about wisdom, right? Let's talk about the things that transcend knowledge, right? Let's talk about what has always been true and will always be true. And then we can start talking to them about like some of the stuff we were talking about last podcast. And we're talking about like, you know, as humans, we are built to exert energy. Doesn't mean we have to, but that we're just built to, and we will always be built that way. And then maybe we can start throwing in some empirical stuff as well, right? Because I think, you know, experience is important and connects really well to knowledge.
Yes.
And we can start, hey, I worked with this person, or I experienced this myself, or my wife, or my husband, or whatever the case is. And then at the bottom is like, you know, what we always talk about in like autonomy, right? Someone has awareness, they have the knowledge, they're given the wisdom, they experience the things themselves, and they connect that knowledge to their own experiences, and now they're able to like navigate this thing on their own.
Yep.
But I don't, I might be missing a few things inside of there.
No,
But
I love it.
Yeah, I think if we looked at,
I got some additions or ideas on it. I'm not sure if this is actual structure you've built or put on paper, Carl.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. Not like out there, like I haven't showed it to anyone, but
okay,
like, yeah,
great,
just something I've been kind of like thinking
You'd be
through.
getting this stuff off your head.
Yeah.
Throw it on the table to someone like myself who loves systems.
Yeah.
Right. I love systems like that. An idea. I have a couple of thoughts around it. I think that belief comes before awareness in modern time. And we'll call it a small b belief, just because it's belief in the process. So I think, I just think that needs to be there. And I've discussed that numerous times before, or small f faith, this kind of leap of faith that humans have to make in the beginning process of a relationship to get better. For an individual process and for what's not there for the collective improvement towards vitality, there's no science that's going to help that person be like, oh, well, this study showed this is the process, So what is it then that they have to like, what is it that's going to get them to the point of your point of the A, an awareness?
Yep.
They got to believe.
Yep.
Like you got to make them believe.
And they also have to understand that the knowledge point of this can change tomorrow.
Oh yeah, I think that happens at the K level, at the knowledge level.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's this like back and forth, coconut and eggs, it's like interesting. Exactly. It's like, oh, okay, great question. Tweak it. And the only thing I would add to it too is that once you reach that level of wisdom and autonomy, and I'm sure I could probably have thought about it hard to like split those up into different areas and front and back, but people just think autonomy also means you're teaching others.
But to me, that's the point of autonomy.
Well, that's what you and I agree upon with the word autonomy, right?
Yeah.
But I'm just saying like that, people, it's just that when we say that on the back end, it seems like the highest order.
Yeah.
Well, it is, but it's not just the height of individualism, off on a path, just like doing it on your own. It's also teaching those, and like I like to say, which gets at least people saying, what's the first steps I should do in that? Is that your loved ones. Those are in your home. Those are the ones that you now want to teach those things, that whole list of stuff you came through, from belief to awareness to knowledge to wisdom to this autonomy level where you're now like, and then your neighbors and, and just give it off and then just relinquish.
Yeah.
Like that's going to move the way it's going to move. Yeah, that's the only things I would add to it is the front end piece on belief and then the new language around autonomy and what it means for people.
Hey guys, I just want to say thanks a lot for sticking around to the end. Our goal in this channel is to create valuable content, one video at a time, and to keep it free. So if you're not already, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And to continue watching on our channel, go ahead and click one of the videos above. And if you want to keep going and you want to keep digging, you want to start implementing the things that we talk about here on this channel, I highly encourage you to get started with a free 14-day trial inside of CoachRx. Thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate it.